All right, so we are going to start with the recap of last week, what our expectation last week was, where we went wrong, um, and also uh what we expect this week, and obviously a few nuggets as well uh, in terms of navigating this entire thing. All right. So, as always, we do often discuss about the market maker cycle, just to make sure that everybody is on board with that and do understand the market maker cycle. All right, so the market maker cycle, we say we've got a peak, we've got level one, we've got level two, we've got level three, and we say this peak formation, this is where the cycle starts and this is where the cycle ends. All right. And we say that it's not always W and M, but sometimes it can be a head and shoulder. You can have something like this. All right. You can have something like that. Or you can have a triple top, or you can have a triple bottom. You can have um a a half Batman whereby maybe let's say you've got a triple bottom, you go level one, level two, on level three, then you have a half Batman like that. All right. So there's so many patterns that you can have on level three. And we always say our safety trade happens on level one, and sometimes you can see it on level two, but in most cases, it should be level one. And we always say we want to see the clear moves away from a certain level to the next level. Those clear moves should be visible. So you should be able to tell that, yeah, the market has moved into another level. And we often say that we count our levels usually on 1 hour time frame. And one level refers to one day refers to one level. And then we often say on higher time frames, we look at the bigger moves. The big moves are what then tells us that this is a level. All right. So having said this, now someone might ask, okay, what about London patterns? London patterns, they happen in these areas. They do happen in the peak, because that's what we use for entries. They will happen in these areas. London patterns, they'll be all over in these areas. So take London patterns as mini market maker cycles. Like you've got an Asian session and stop and high, and then the market goes down for that particular day, gives you a low of the day, and the market then closes the day on that particular day. Next thing happens the following day, and then you go like that. All right. So you've got your Asian sessions, all three Asian sessions right there, and you can clearly see the three pushes to the downside. Okay, so this being your high of the day. So your high of the day is still more like a peak formation on the 15 minutes time frame, and you've got your low of the day. It's just a different terminology, but everything is entirely the same. All right, so it's all the same. So if you learn the market maker cycle and you understand it very well, you can then apply it on any time frame. Whatever you are dealing with, you can still apply it on that time frame. All right. Now, having said that, last week we spoke of a number of pairs, and we said our expectation was that USD pairs had already formed peaks on the D1 timeframe. So we were expecting to see continuous buys until maybe to the 200 EMA, where we're going to reset and give the sells. And we said this is going to take forever to happen. So in the meantime, from the 1 hour time frame, we're going to be tracking levels to see how far we go. And we expected that um, USD pairs were going to form peak formations because they were at level three and then come down and form a reset and then continue the buy. So if you look at what happened, last week. So the pair that I have here is GBP USD, all right? So you look at this and say, this is Friday, this is Thursday, this is Wednesday, this is Tuesday, this is Monday. All right. So for some of you, I know you don't have these double lines. And it's because of the brokers that you're using, but nonetheless, you shouldn't really worry you that much. So you can tell how the previous week the market was moving upside, and that was very good because it was completing a cycle that it had started earlier on at the back down there. Now we said we anticipated to see the market form a peak formation. You can clearly see right here how this is like. And the market had formed the first leg, and then on Monday it went back up to form the second leg. So we entered sales right here and the market went down, right? And then the market started to play around there. So basically on Tuesday, all it had done was a consolidation. And I remember sending a message and saying, I do not feel comfortable continuing with GBP USD. I feel like this is now reset on the 50 MA. 50 MA is actually moving somewhere around there. Yeah, somewhere around there. So, and I said, I feel like it is reset on the 50 EMA, and I think it is time it goes up. All right. And what it did was it did issue the sell that I had expected, because I had expected that the sale was gonna come to the low of Monday or Friday, and it did do that, which was very good. But unfortunately, I was no longer in the trade. I was now looking for a buy instead, and it's unfortunate again I missed this buy, which we had anticipated. So this being our peak formation, and then this being our reset. All right. So if you look at it, you see that it's an M, all right, and then a W. This is how it looks like. Let me draw it again. So that's your first leg, that's your second leg, that's your first leg of the W, and then that's your second leg, and then it goes up. So you've got level 1, level 2, level 3, and then you've got something like that. All right. And then this is what they do. They decide to close the market at the high right there. You can see right there. They decide to close the market right there. So we'll discuss further what we expect should happen at this point. All right. Someone has raised their hand. Um, yes, you can go ahead.
Yes, coach. I can see you're drawing annotations there, but I don't seem to be seeing them.
You're not seeing the
Um,
annotations?
yes, they are not visible on this end. We can see a plain chart um, with candlesticks
Is there anyone who
and
can see
one
my
white line.
annotation?
We can't see it. We've been dropping message.
Oh, come on, guys. I didn't see your messages. All right. All right. Can you see it now?
Yes, now we can see them in
All
black.
right. Yes, in black.
They
Yes.
look like a head or something. Is that
Yeah.
someone's head?
All right. So can you actually see now an M, a W, or what? You can see, right?
Yes.
Yes, now we can see.
Wonderful. Wonderful. All right. I'll repeat that again. So I said the market on this week had a rise, and then it had formed a peak below there. And we said this was our peak formation. And we anticipated that the market was gonna sell, and it did sell all the way up to there. And I said, unfortunately, when I saw that, that's when I thought the market wasn't gonna break any of these lows. It was just continue going up. So that's why I sent a message that get out of GU, but unfortunately it did sell, though it didn't go as far as we would have expected, but it was still on the 50 EMA, which was passing by here, and then it started going up, because we had said that we expect the market to form a peak and then go up. But on this is D1, so it has already formed a peak and we expected a continuous buy. But from the H1 time frame, we expected the market to come down, reset, and then go back up. And what it has done now, the market has formed an M and a W from the way it looks. And then it has gone up, and on a Friday sold down, but sold up to the highs of the peak formation that was there last week. Now that says a lot, and I said we're gonna explain that further later on, okay, when we are discussing of what we expect to see going on next week. But this is how it unfolded. All right, and then looking at Euro AUD, I'm in this trade. I'm still in this trade. In profit. So Euro AUD, what happened on this trade was we expected it to sell. I remember explaining that this trade was gonna start the week by selling before buying. All right, and I personally was looking for a buy and not a sell. Now, the unfortunate thing is that I wanted to see the market play around the low, but the market did not do that. It actually went further below that low. So you'll find that my entry is somewhere around there. That's where my entry is, somewhere around there. But that's not what I expected. I wanted them to stay there. I didn't want them to go even further below, as low as that. But it's quite unfortunate. That's what the market maker did. And if you look at it carefully, we had also initially said this was a possibility that it's our first level, and this was a possibility that it's our second level. And this being the third level that popped up, but clearly that's not what the market maker had in mind. What he had in mind was that this entire consolidation was part of the entire level. All right, so the market continued with a straightaway trade as soon as they opened the market, and they continued with that level as a whole. So that meant that our last level was gonna come from here. So such things, they do happen where you are in the market and all of a sudden you see changes, all right? And you should be able to adapt to those changes. Now, the good thing is you've got your ADR values on the top corner there, and 3 ADR is 246 pips. So if we put 246 pips here, we should get 246. Yeah, maybe somewhere there. 246, 247. If we put it there, you can clearly tell that this is where the move started and this is where the move ended. So you can clearly see 3 ADRs. So that means 3 levels were complete when we got down there, all right? Because of that 3 ADR. So you can clearly see, look at how from here to there, it's equal. And from here to there, it's almost equal. That's how your 3 ADR works. It's very important. That's how it works, to try and show you when and where reversals are potentially going to happen. That is why when the market was still here, I was advocating that I want to see them sell first before they could buy. And I did express that I want to see them touch the previous low, at least get to that level before they can start going up. So that is exactly what happened. And again, we'll see what we expect moving forward. All right. Okay. So this is MT4, not MT5. So it's MT4. I prefer using MT4 because MT4 is very easier for these indicators to run on. So I don't use MT5 to analyze. I play with MT4. MT5 is on my phone, though I have it here on my PC as well. It's just not good enough when it comes to these indicators. I know some people prefer to stick with MT5 entirely, but MT4 is very good. So for analysis, that's what I use it. And then I move to MT5 when I want to execute. All right. Let's see, what other pair did we look at? Let's try and see gold. I think we did talk about gold. Yes, there you are. So we did talk about gold, and I remember we clearly marked levels on gold, and we said gold was sold. It's actually sold because it was on 3 levels H4, and we anticipated that gold was going to continue buying. All right. So where did this buy come from? Remember, we said we have 3 levels of H4. All right. So these 3 levels of H4 and a peak formation there showed us that gold was going to continue for the next level of D1. All right, someone has raised up their hand. You can go ahead.
Yeah, Coach. Sorry, today I'm asking so many
It's all
questions.
right. It's all right.
I took an energy drink.
It's all
That's
right.
why I'm very hyperactive. Yeah, my MT4 won't show many of these items, like the ADR by 3, the peak formation high, peak formation low, blah 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 blah. Are there some settings that I might have to enable toggle on kuti izoshowa? Even the I struggle to see sometimes the Asian boxes in the session changes.
What laptop are you using? Is it Windows or Mac?
Windows. Windows.
All right, so if it's Windows, it should definitely show pretty easy. What are you using the template that I'm using, or you are not?
I do
Oh,
have
yeah,
some template from Telegram. Maybe
okay.
let me check that.
All right. I
Let me
may
check that.
try, yeah, I may try to save some of these templates and forward to you guys.
All
Because
right.
I've made a couple of templates. I actually use IC markets and XNES depending on whatever I want. So you'll find on XNES I've got this 1, 2, 3. So it all depends with my mood. Sometimes when I want to deal with a clean chart, this is what I do without any
Okay.
indicators. And then this one is probably the normal one. Yeah, the one with Asian boxes and all that stuff. So I'll give you guys so then you can go around them and see their differences. The one on IC markets is even good because it goes in stages like the cleanest chart, a cleaner chart, and so forth. So I was removing certain indicators. So maybe that's what could be happening. I'll send you the
Okay.
templates, then we see if you can find some luck on that. All right. So gold,
I know.
as I
Thank you.
said, it actually did a reset. And you can see right there, you've got your first leg, you've got your second leg, so equal lows right there, even here as well. So maybe you've got 3 legs, 1, 2, 3. So it actually hit 3 lows there, and then it decided to to go up, and I do not expect to see gold coming down. All I expect is gold to form the low of the week and continue going up. All right. So this one was pretty clear and obvious, even from our discussions. I can't remember if we did any other pair. As far as I know, I think these were the only pairs that we looked at. All right. Now, do you want us to look at what's going to happen next week? Because again, remember, you guys are the one who are going to be telling me what will happen next week. And then I'll pitch in if ever I think I've got a different opinion, or if anyone thinks is a different opinion. But next week should be very straightforward. But nonetheless, we need to do it for the sake of everybody. So who wants to start and tell us your name and your pair, and then you get on with it. I'll open the pair for you.
No, I want to. It's Ricky. I want to try at NCAD, New Zealand CAD.
Okay, New Zealand CAD. How are you, Ricky?
Okay, I'm doing great.
That's good. That's good. How is
Thanks.
America?
It's great right now. A lot of things.
I know a lot of things are happening, eh? That's good.
But other than that, focus and do what you
yeah,
better for you.
very true. Let's see. Where is NZD CAD? NZD CAD. NZD.
I have an open position on HU sale.
Okay.
Very well. And then next week I'll be looking at a GU for a midweek reversal sale and NCAD for a midweek reversal sale.
Okay.
And I'll show
my
you the
NZD CAD? Oh, come on. All right. NZD CAD. Oh.
Coach, I'm in a noisy place, but I need to ask a question to attempt to put myself.
I didn't hear that, sorry. Where is my NZD CAD?
You can just click on any of the pairs, then type N. It will take you to all the N's.
Okay,
Then
so
type N.
hold on. It's not even there.
You
That's
broker is
interesting.
a
There we
racist.
go. There we go. What's going on?
Ah.
There we go. All right. Ha, I was surprised. Like, what's going on here? All right. Thank you for that. All right. So here we are, Ricky. Oh, this looks very good.
okay.
So what time frame do you want me to start with?
The weekly. So I do. I take all my the trend part or whatever from the weekly. I do the ADR. ID50s from weekly and daily.
Okay.
So if you the weekly, you'll see that we have the M for the reset here. It's right here. M for the reset. It went down, then it come up. I think it's gonna do this. So that's what I'm looking for from the weekly. And if you look at the weekly, it looks like it has 2 weeks going up. It has the 1 week and then the 2 week. So I'm looking for a third week to go up, and then like wick, try to catch the wick for like the midweek reverse. So go to H4. H4 over, yeah. So the H4 gave us the where's my pen not working? So we have it here, went down for the first one. This is that first all this right here was that week long, the first leg that went down. And this one was supposed to be the reset, but sometimes they come back to create an M the same way. So they'll do something like that, and then you'll have on the weekly, it'll be the M going down on the first level. So that's something I also noticed, that they tend to create M's within M's. But so we have week one. I have it here. I have the first. Why is it not annotated? I have one level, and then I have two level. I'm looking for it to go up and then come back down like that. So it go up, create the small M, and come back down. So that's what I'm looking for. Looking for actually at these highs here. If you go to the 1 hour, so the 1 hour, I counted 1, 2, 3. This is I'll wait and see, but I actually counted the levels. I had the levels like almost like 2 levels in a day, or maybe it may be like extended levels, like level 1, level 2. But I counted, if it was 1 hour levels, I would have counted 1, 1, 2, and then 3, and then counted 1, 2, and 3 for like the 1 hour. So basically, I'm looking forward to come, reset, go up 3 levels, and then come down. I'm looking for like a midweek reversal if I can find it. Probably Wednesday or Thursday. That's my analysis of the pair.
All right, that's very good. Who has a different opinion? Anyone who thinks otherwise? All right. So if you look at this pair, from what he said, okay, so higher time frames are good, but they are only for reference and also for finding out the direction of the market. And then smaller time frames will then give you those smaller details. When you look at the monthly time frame, you can actually see that the market is definitely going down, though the TDI has been horizontal for a long time, and that also is contributed by the fact that we don't have too much data. That's why you see something like this on the left-hand side. This, which simple means we don't have much data. So it becomes very difficult to rely on the TDI on the monthly time frame, right? But you can clearly see how the market has been on a sell move, and it's not showing any signs of a buy anytime soon. It's still showing signs of a sell, right? Now, that being the case, if we zoom in a little bit, remember what I said? I don't know if you people are going to see this, but if you look at this candle and that candle, right? What I can see there is this. So you've got a green candle, and then you have the red candle with a high higher than this one, all right, like that. So that tells me the following candle has a high chance of matching or even breaking the previous high and then go down. So it means it will then maybe close down like that. Okay. So you've got, let me give you an example. Let's see an example. You've got something like this. All right. But forget the wicks for now, but I'm trying to explain something like that, where you've got the green candle there, then assuming this one beats the high of this one, and then this one comes next and starts to sell. Now, yeah, something like that. Yeah, this is very close, something like that. So whereby on the following the week, you expect to see the market sell. But this is a monthly time frame, so this is going to take a while to happen. But that is what I taught you earlier on about the CRT model, but this will take some time. Yeah, something like that as well. Okay. Now, going into the weekly time frame, you can clearly see on the weekly time frame that at the moment we are on a buy. And the same thing that I explained previously, this is it, what's just happened there. So what you are looking at is, you are looking at the first candle, perfect candle. Second candle breaks the high of the first and then closes below the high of the first. So breaks the high and closes below the high. So you have a guarantee that the next candle is going to be a red candle. All right. So that's all that you're looking at. The next candle is going to be a red candle. Now, same thing happened here. Perfect candle. The second candle breaks the low of the first candle, closes below that low, and then the third candle goes upwards. So you can see that what happened here is what happened there. So that what you call a CRT model. Okay, but it's different here because this candle did not break the high of that candle. Not that it's not going to happen, but it's a different case even here as well. So you won't expect anything. But it's the same case here. Perfect candle, like a big good candle. This candle breaks the high of the first candle and then closes below the high. So you know the next candle is going to be a sell. That's something that you can do on higher time frames. Same thing again here, perfect candle. First candle breaks the high of the, second candle breaks the high of the first candle and closes below the high. You know the next candle is going to be a sell. Is that making sense? I can go on and on about it, but those are the examples that you'll be looking at. But is it making sense? So that's one of the things that the market uses to turn around. Okay, that's one of the methods that the market uses to turn around. And it doesn't mean it's going to work every time, but most of the times you see it work. All right. Most of the times you see it work when you test out. So those are the morning stars and the evening stars. All right. Now, what Ricky was saying here is that because we are on a reset, so remember on the higher time frames, we said we're expecting a sell. Now, what is happening here, for us to have that sell, we want to see the market interact with the previous high. So in other words, we expect to see a buy this week. Then we might have the high of the week, maybe Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whichever. And then we can go down. All right. Now, smaller time frames will then give us a bigger picture of what's happening. I love how this has come about here. Like, this is so perfect. You can see a nice W, nice M in the middle, and nice W there. So we want to see what will happen in the following week. But rest assured, all we're expecting is a buy. Now, if I show you something here, look at that. First candle, second candle closes up below. After breaking the high, the next candle is a sell. All right. There is another candle. This one closes below the high after taking the high out. And then what happens next? You've got a sell. But here, it's a different thing. So you've got the first candle, but the second candle does not take out the high. The all closes below the high, but did not take the high. So it does not apply here, all right? But it does apply here. First candle, second candle takes out the high of the first candle and then closes below. What happens next is this. So you can actually see this from higher time frames and then just wait for the following week. When the following week comes, you just hit the market straight and you're good. Someone is saying those two green candles are weird. Which green candles are you talking about?
Those on the 200 EMA.
On the 50 EMA. On the 50 EMA.
This one?
Just no. After those before the doji.
This one?
No.
Oh, right. Okay. These ones.
Yes, how did they
Yes.
form?
Yeah, that happens a lot, and it's usually because of market gap. All right. So if I put a box in here, right? Hopefully my box will be I know some of the data will be outside this box, but nonetheless. Right. So if I go to the 4-hour time frame, you can clearly see there. Look at that. So the market closed there on this week, but it opened there. So that's the market gap. And unfortunately, it didn't help the situation because it opened there and then did that. All right. Does it make sense now? So if we go to
it does, but it's confusing.
So if we go to the 1-hour time frame, look at this 1-hour time frame. So 1-hour time frame, this is where the market closed, and this is where the market opened the following week. So that is what happened there. So the market closed on Friday here, and the following week it's opened there and started the week right there. So there was a gap in between here and there. And that gap was then filled up after that. But the open of the candle was here. This is where the open of the candle is. Then the candle became red or whatever started first, and then the market went up, closing that market gap. So that is what makes you have those weird candles on higher time frames because of market gap. It happens all the time. That's why you can have maybe say a buy here and you slip deep in profit. By Friday, you're at $100, and then you open the market on Monday and you are at minus $20. This is the reason why we always emphasize that do not leave trades open during the weekend, because not only does market gap comes sometimes they even open spreads, whereby as opposed to having a very small spread, the market can have the buy line and the sell line right there, like very big lines. So it happens that during the early hours of days and also the early hours of the weeks. So that's one of the things that you ought to be careful of. All right. So yeah, it's quite funny that you see that not on this pair, it's only that you only saw it on 2 candles, but on some pairs you see it on a multiple candles. Like all the candles won't be making sense. Like it will be so terrible in such a way that you don't even understand what's going on. There are pairs like that where you look at them on higher time frames and they're like, I don't even know how to analyze this or where to start. That's just how it is like. All right. Now, going forward, looking at this, assumption is that this is peak formation low, all right, or the low of the week. And you can see how the market came back to test that low right there. Now, this is the part that then starts to confuse many people. The fact that you've got the market tapping on the low right there, it will then raise a question whether, does it mean this is the first leg and this is the second leg? Or does it mean this is the first leg, second leg, and this is just a tap on the third leg? it doesn't matter. Whichever the case, the fact that the market came back to the third level nullifies this entire level. All right. Because counting your levels, you would have said, this is my level 1. This is my level 2. But because of that, it becomes hard for you, because if you are to, I don't know what's going on with my boxes. If you are to come down like that, that's as good as the same level already. But because you're dealing with a bigger time frame, yes, you can keep in mind to say, okay, I've seen 2 pushes up. Now I want to see the reaction. So whether it's 1 push or it's 2 push, all I know, the desired outcome is that the next push should be an outward movement. Does that make sense? So already you know that the next push is supposed to be an outward movement. So how that will happen, then we'll see what H1 actually says. All right. So going into H1, because now we want to fix our levels on H1. Again, you can clearly see how this pair moves. So some pairs, the way they move, they can be a bit of confusing because looking at this one, you can clearly see the W right there. But then from the second leg, all you can see is a rise all the way up top to right there, right? And I can't call this a first level. It's just too late for it to be called the first level. Nothing really happened on this day. We're still forming a peak. But the first move, that is what I'll classify as a first push. Now, I can't call this a level again. I cannot, because it's still more or less in the same area as where the said level 1 actually ended. So this entire box becomes my level 1. All right. This entire box becomes my level 1. Now, with all this happened there, then I can then say, remember what I said? I can then say this is my level 2, or I can say, okay, level 1 was removed and this remains my level 1. But whichever way, the market is supposed to go up. Now, how is it going to go up? Then I look for key areas. So key areas, number 1, you can see right here. This is a key area for me where there's all these highs. And you can clearly see how the market even reacted when it got to those highs right there. So I expect the market to come down, form the low of the week right there, and then give us the second or third push. That is the expectation. So you expect a buy, ideally, all right? So if it happens that the buy comes and then it goes up and forms an M formation, then you can then say, okay, that was 1, that was 2, and this is now 3. But if it goes up and it just consolidates like this on the finish day and it doesn't show any signs of an M formation, then you can see that, okay, so this entire thing was level 1 and that's level 2, and I'm expecting level 3. I hope this makes sense, guys, but that is how you would approach it. So at the end of the day, you definitely want to see a buy, but also keeping in mind that on the bigger time frames, which is the monthly and the weekly, very soon you might want to see a sell. All right. Okay, saying got it. All right. What's the next pair, guys? Since we've done NZT card,
Coach,
USD pair.
coach, I'm back, I'm back. I celebrate you, coach.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me, bro? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hello.
Can you hear me clearly now?
No, I can't hear you.
Hello, coach. Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you, yes.
Oh, okay. I really appreciate you. I want to talk about how which always count is level, whereby he count 2 level in one day. Can we go by that, or Because to me, I don't think it's right
No,
for us to count level in that manner. I stand
no.
to be corrected. Then also, I would like us to talk
Try to
about
write your question on the chats page.
Jokemi request AUD USD, but she didn't complain the good.
Try
Maybe because
try to write your question on the chats page because I can't hear anything anymore. I think your network is very bad. Try and write on the chats page, please.
okay, can I hear now?
I can't even hear what you're saying. Try to write the question on the chats page, please. All right. So while he's writing his question on the chats page, what other pair do you want us to look at? Who else is another pair? Okay, I think I saw someone say AUD USD, if I'm not mistaken. Can you help us attend to August? What August? August and complete. Oh, can you help us attend to AUD USD and complete? All right, so AUD USD it is. I think I saw Madam Chokemi sending that one, AUD USD. Right. So AUD USD. Who wants to analyze this one? If there's no one, I'll analyze it myself because it's 7:23 already. Okay, so I feel very hurt or bad because I clearly pointed out how USD pairs were forming peak formations and what was going to happen with those peak formations, but no one paid attention, unfortunately, or maybe some people did pay attention. And I clearly said we were going to break the neckline and go to the 200 EMA, and then we might form a reset and then go all the way down. And I feel bad about that because no one paid attention to that. And now we are at a situation where we've seen the buy unfold right in front of our eyes, and no one did anything about it. But now, nonetheless, XXX USD pairs are still a buy. All right, nothing changes. They're still a buy until they show us the reason why they want to sell, but at the moment they are still a buy. So looking at this, you can clearly see even your TDI is showing you a very nice upward movement, and you can see how your TDI bounced on the MBL, and this is exactly the lowest point where you could have taken the buy. That was the beginning of the month, I think. Yeah, it was the beginning of the month of February, if I'm not mistaken, because this entire move was January. So January was consolidation and forming the low of the year. And then February confirmed the low of the year, and we went all the way up. So that's the non-low of the year at this particular point. All right. There is no other low of the year that will come after that. That's what we know at this point, unless if it happens mid-year, or like I said, if we then form a reset right here, so the reset becomes the high of the year, and then from there we trade away from that yearly high, then we can then break the low and keep on moving. But this is what's happening. Now, on the 4 hour, it's still the same thing. We're still expecting a buy. Now you can come here and then say, this is your first level into a consolidation. This is your second level into a consolidation. And this went up and came back down. So it means we're still in the same level. So we want to see that third level before we can go to the peak formation. Now, if we go to the 1 hour time frame, it's pretty clear. You can see the consolidations over here. So what it tells us is, remember we said we want to see the market form level 1, level 2, level 3 consolidation. So it's the same thing as GBP USD, where this becomes your lowest. Oh, sorry, what have I done? All right, this becomes your lowest point. Okay, so that becomes your peak formation. It's unfortunate that some peak formations are not going to be clear, and this is due to the market gap. Remember the market gap that we talked about. As you can see, this is where the market started. This is where the market ended. So if you go to, I don't know whether it will be D1 or whatever, you'll see those candles again somewhere along the line. This one is actually a clear and clean gap there. So that means the reason why this gap still remains is because this candle did not close it immediately, but it formed and then closed below. Then the following day is what then closed it. So that's why this gap still shows, even though it has been filled. All right. Now, so this being our peak formation low right here. So the way you are then going to count your levels, you then count starting from there and say probably that's your level 1. And then this is your consolidation into level 2. So that's your 1 into a consolidation. And that's your 2 into a consolidation. And then that's your 3. And then on your peak formation, and you have your reset right there at the 50 EMA. And so what you expect, because you are back into those highs or back into that range, you expect the market to continue going up. So what they did, if you look at it closer, what they did here, they came here and formed a triple top. All right, they formed a triple top, very clumsy one. And at the bottom, they formed a triple bottom, very clumsy one as well. And then they went up, which was a very good buy. But then they thought, okay, we're going to trap people on the wrong side. So they came back down and closed in the same level. So what you expect next week is just something like that. All right. And they're probably going to be fencing the 200 EMA somewhere there. So they'll want to touch the 200 EMA maybe before they can pursue the buy. But that's entirely what you want to see. You want to see a buy going to the upside. All right. So that's what you want to see on AUD USD. And this is the same with GBP USD. Remember what we said, this being our highs, so we expect to see the market go up. So same thing, even with NZD USD as well. Let me see if I can find it. All right, NZD USD as well, same thing. So NZD USD does look like AUD USD, but this one, the good thing I love about it is that it formed the first level, formed the second level into a consolidation, and then formed the third level. Now, if you look closely on what happened here, this one actually formed a very nice and beautiful W. Even the M is not that bad at all, though it's not the M that you want, but it's not that bad at all. But the W is very good. And look at what they do after that. They go up on a buy and then they come back down, and they are aiming for that area right there. So they're aiming for that. So that's more like in IT50, if you may call it, but that's exactly what they are after before they can continue the buy. All right. Let's see Euro USD. the culprit. All right, Euro USD. Euro USD, that's the weekly time frame. What just happened there? Okay. The daily H4, H1. Now, if you look at Euro USD is the same again. The good thing about this one now is that the reset is sitting right on the 200 EMA. That's the good thing about it, sitting exactly on the 200 EMA. And so we expect nothing but a continuous buy. Yes, they might sell all the way down to the 200 EMA there, just a little bit, starting the market, but then they eventually should then go up. And the thing about markets, because they are predictable, it will come back down here, go back up, pass through the highs, come back to these highs, test them, and then go back up. All right. So that's something that you expect to see unfold. Okay. So that's what we expect on the USD pair. So generally we want to see them buy. So that means looking at USD CHF is supposed to be entirely the opposite of what you are seeing on Euro USD. And already USD CHF is started with the sell. Like the good thing is they went all the way up to there and then formed the high of the week and continued with the sell. But you can't say this is a reset. The reason why I can't call this a reset is simple because coming from this angle, if this is my peak formation, right, then this becomes my level 1, this becomes my level 2. So I can't then say that's a reset, all right? Because what you're simply doing is you're going back to the same high of that level. So that means this whole move is still my level 2. So I would expect to see them continue down before they can form a peak. Now that then explains what I always say, that when we talk about correlation of pairs, it doesn't mean when AUD-USD, when USD CHF is on level 1, then Euro USD also should be on level 1. That's not how it works. Yes, you can have Euro USD on a reset, yet USD CHF is on level 1. So as much as these pairs are correlated or they've got disparity or whatever, right? You should treat them separately when you're analyzing. That will help you to understand how the market goes. It will help you to understand that, okay, Euro USD at the moment, this is what it is doing. Yes, it might go against USD CHF, but they are not at the same level. They are not at the same point. That is very critical and very important because we often make mistakes and say, no, but if they are correlated or some sort, why are they not doing the exact same thing? It's not always going to be the same. And we did speak about DXY for a bit last week for those people who were interested on DXY. So you can clearly see that your DXY is showing you exactly what USD CHF was actually showing you, all right? But again, it's not going to be in the same level as USD CHF, but it will show you something similar with what you are seeing on USD CHF. So as long as it is selling, USD CHF will also sell. All right, overall, it will also sell, but it doesn't mean the candles are going to be the same. All right, and I think we had already discussed gold, and we said there's nothing that gold will do other than go up. Reason being, gold has formed a reset, and in this case, it went up, broke the highs, and then came back to the highs. So it has been sitting on the highs right there. So maybe there's going to be some chopping on Monday on those highs before we can see an upward movement for a while. But gold is done with that business there. Oh, maybe gold can decide to come back down to the 200 EMA, sit there for a while before it goes up. Anything can happen in the market. Anything can happen. This is the reason why we always say, look at higher time frames, find a setup when it appears. Don't just look at the charts and say, because he said he expects the choppiness and then a buy, then that means I'm gonna enter. The market might first sell before it decides to buy, but that doesn't mean it violates its move, because we are predicting. Okay, so we are forecasting what we think is going to happen. All right, and then we wait for the market to move, and then we are reactive. Now, I don't know if anyone has a question, but what I will say is you need to be very careful when it comes to these things. How you trade is very important. All right, I sometimes can just trade one trade per week, or like, for example, the previous week I was on GU, I got out on GU, and I got in on Euro odd, and those were the only two pairs. All right, never ever think that every single day you should have something to trade. That is very wrong and very dangerous, because that's what makes you lose in the market, being on the market 24/7. So be very careful. There are some days where you don't even need to look at the charts. There are some days where you need to analyze and just look and see if ever it's going to do what you said it will do. All right, that's the most important thing, analyzing and just watching. And in terms of opening positions, open positions only on the trades that you say, yeah, this one I'm very sure, or maybe it's one that I recommended, something like that. Then you can trade that one. But whether you win on it or you lose on it, take a break. You can take a break and say, okay, today I'm done. We'll see tomorrow if there's any opportunity. Sometimes I do open the charts, look at the market, check the candles, and say, you know what, I don't see anything that really catches my eye, and then I let the market go, or maybe make a few analyses, and when I'm done with that, let the market go and ignore it until the following day. Or maybe you guys have got a question on another pair, I look at that pair and then I tell you what it's going to do, and I don't trade it myself, just leave it and let it be. Why? Because I minimize how many times I'm supposed to make it a trade or open a position, so that when I do, at least I have more wins than losses. Your capital is very, very important, guys. Your capital is your biggest asset. Always know that. So you need to be very careful in that. So now start thinking about, what pair do I want to trade this week? What pair do I want to follow? Look at that pair. Look at it from the higher time frames going down. Start analyzing that pair. Send it in the group and say, guys, this is what I'm looking at. This is what my expectation is. And normalize sending setups with charts. All right, don't just say, okay, I see a sell on GU. Yeah, of course you see a sell, but you show us where you see the sell, so that if we need to help you, then we can help you. That's very, very important. All right, send a chart, show us, this is what I am expecting. Maybe someone might be seeing something different, or that you didn't see, or you thought, maybe it doesn't matter. So always use charts when you want to send something. It will help me, it will help you, it will help everybody who wants to help you. All right, so that's very, very important. So that being said, guys, I don't know if anyone has a question before we close up, but we're gonna be talking during the week, and please make sure that you've got pairs that you want to focus on this week. So look at the charts throughout the day on Sunday and say, okay, I want to focus on these pairs. Like, I can tell you right now, the pairs that I'm going to be focusing on is Euro odd and one of the USD pairs. I'm not sure yet which one. I'm gonna have to look, but Euro odd, because Euro odd, I've got a running pair, so I have to look at that one and see if anything changes. But that's how I approach it. Two pairs for me are enough for the week. If I look at those and I catch them, that'll be good. If I miss them, then I call it a week, and we see the next week. Markets are not going anywhere. They'll always be here. You're the one who's gonna finish with your capital, so you need to be very, very careful with that. All right. Someone has a question. Right. So yes, I'm going to be doing the indices very soon. The only challenge I'm having is that we are not allowed to trade indices over the site. So like it's totally not allowed. So my VPN has been acting up. The one that I was using to trade the indices has been acting up. So I'm trying to see if I can maybe pay for another VPN and see if it's gonna make any difference. If it does work, that'll be good. But if it doesn't work, then it means too bad for me. But if you need help, just let me know and then we can look at the pair or send on the group. We can look at the pair and see what we can do. But yeah, I can't execute pairs at the moment. And even Stanbic Bank called me. I don't know what they want, but they called me and said, we need to discuss about your account. Now I can't even access my Zim account because even if you trade on volatilities, you can't. I can only withdraw with Stanbic Bank, which is my home bank. So it's pretty hard. Yeah, someone recommended another broker for me, so I'll look at it and see if they accept Australian banks. That would be good, but if they don't, then it means I don't know what I'll do. But I was trying to use Bitcoin. It did work with Bitcoin, but the stress you go through because you have to move money from the bank to Bitcoin, then from Bitcoin to Deriv, but then now Deriv has to be on VPN for you to access it, and then you can deposit or withdraw money. Now the problem, I can't access that VPN, so it's just a shit show, but I'll see what I can do. But yeah, it is a very tedious process. I don't know what to do. I'll see if I can find a solution to this. But otherwise, if I can't, then it means I can't trade indices anymore. All right. So that's it for me, guys. I don't know if you've got any other question.